Here's a look at the underside of a 1999 Porsche 996 C4, so the all-wheel drive model, the first water-cooled 911. So you know all 911s are rear engine. You can see the engine right here at the back of the car with the headers coming off, and then the headers kind of loop around to the cats right behind the rear bumper, and then it goes to they crisscross, it goes to the mufflers, and then it comes out the tailpipes. But one of the things the 911 is known for, in addition to that rear engine, is the engine's very low. So, you know, the cylinder heads are just right here, right next to the rear wheels. And the engine is completely behind the rear wheels. And then the engine is mounted to a transmission, which is right here. And you can see the drive shafts coming off to each rear wheel, right behind that brace there. You can see the boots there. And then it goes out to the rear wheel. And the rear suspension, it's a pretty good design. I'll take another look around here. This is probably the best view. It's really a double control arm, double wishbone type of suspension. Not quite double wishbone because the upper links are separate links. There's two upper links there that connect to the chassis and have ball joints that go to the wheel carrier. And then the bottom is a control arm within this diagonal brace that goes forward. But the idea is you know, it really keeps the wheel straight to the road as the suspension goes up and down. And then there's an aluminum bar right here at the back, right behind that hooked sway bar. And this is called your toe link. And what it is it is how, you know, it keeps the carrier from turning like steering. It's just a fixed link. And if you look right here, you can actually see a little calibrated bolt with kind of an offset washer attached to it. It's really kind of a cam. And you loosen the nut up on the other side, and when you turn that, it's an eccentric, so it means that the center of the bolt is off center from the head. So when you turn that bolt, it's going to push or pull that toe link in or out, which is going to give you toe at the rear wheel. And then you can see right here, we've got another one of those adjustments, and this is for the lower control arm. So when the lower control arm pushes outward, it gives the car more negative camber in the rear, and when it pulls inward, it gives you less negative camber. So those are your two alignment settings in the rear, your toe and your camber adjustment. And then, you know, there's the sway bar, the black bar there. That's connecting from the drop link to the shock absorber. So some other interesting things is this transmission has the shift cables on the side. All of the 996s and the Boxster, the 986s, 987s, 997s are all cable actuated shifters, where the earlier air-cooled cars were just a mechanical rod sticking out of the end of the transmission. This one, because it's the C4 model, I'm not quite sure how visible it is, but there's actually a drive shaft. There's a rubber kind of donut bushing between a part that's coming out on the front of the transmission and this black drive shaft here. Maybe here's another view to see it. So this drive shaft transmits the power to a little front differential, and that's this shiny aluminum looking thing. Actually, there's a viscous coupling right here in that housing part of it, and that viscous coupling allows for a little bit of slip. I think the Porsche factory said that 85% of the power goes to the rear wheels and 15 goes to the front, or 70 and 5 and 25, something like that. So it's not quite four-wheel drive like a Jeep is or something, but it certainly does send some power to the front wheels. And then this is the front differential up in the front, and you can see your CV joints and axles, you know, connecting there, and they connect right out to the front wheels. And then, you know, kind of right in front of that diff, you can see that that unit with that accordion boot on it. That is the power steering rack. So then the power steering rack has a tie rod that goes to the carrier of the wheel there. And then the front suspension, it's a McPherson strut front suspension. The lower link is a little similar to the rear, but it does not have that camber adjustment. You actually adjust the camber from the top of the shock tower on this car, which the shock tower is, you know, where that strut, that shock absorber, goes to up and under the trunk, And you know, when you tilt the top of that inward, you get more negative camber. And then your toe is, you can see that aluminum kind of bar going there to the steering, and that, I don't know if I can see it with the cooling duct here, but maybe right up through there you can see it's got a threaded shaft and a jam nut on it, and so that's your adjustment for your toe setting. So that's how you do the alignment on the front of the car. But all the suspension members in the front and the rear are all cast aluminum, pretty good quality, pretty lightweight. This has the sway bar coming down right here, right in front of that kind of frame member. And actually, while the camera's pointing at it, there's this black kind of plastic tank that is saddling over that front differential. That's the gas tank, so the gas tank of the car. There's some covers and braces that cover all of this under the car, so nothing is exposed. And some of the other things that we have in the front here is there are these little brake cooling ducts, air scoops, that divert air coming right under the car here, right under the front bumper, right to the inside of the rotor. So then the air goes to the inside of the rotor, and as the wheels turns, the air goes out the vents in the rotor and cools off. And you have two radiators. See if I can get the camera to turn around here. You can just see the radiator fan here. So there's actually a radiator and an AC condenser in the nose of the car, looking right through the front vent. You can see the AC condenser. And these two great big pipes that are running down the center tunnel, those are your water pipes. So one is water to the radiators and one is water back. And if you look kind of right here next to the gas tank, right here, you can see actually the pipe splits into a Y, so that it goes into a Y, so it goes to each radiator, and then it comes back from the radiator and into another Y in the other pipe, and then goes back to the rear of the car. And then the other lines that you see here, you've got your power steering lines, your air conditioning lines, your fuel lines, and your brake lines are all going, you know, from the front to the back. So there's the underside of a 911. And here's just a quick look of what it looks like with all of the covers in place. You can see they really try to protect a lot of that exposed area and keep the airflow smooth under the car.